Elevensies with Lisa Anton, and Skittle has just had a little whatever and disappeared in a huff.
Apparently there is a cricket loose in the house.
Oh God, yes there is.
And causing some chaos.
You had to laugh if you've just seen Emmett just, his eyes were as big as saucers and he was chasing something around and just
like a nutter, man.
Completely wore himself out. Which is okay so long as he doesn't run into everything and trash it, because he's quite good at doing that sort of thing. So
yeah.
Good morning if you're watching this.
He doesn't really mind if it's glass or not.
No, it'll move. It's just that honestly, him and his sister, they're
dynamic duo.
They're terrible twins. I don't know. They have destroyed the bloody house almost, like they're using the door jambs as scratching posts.
Even though they have a beautiful big
I don't, yeah.
Anyway.
What are you going to do?
Fantastic Friday. So.
Yes, good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Fantastic Friday. Now, we were asked to look at something, weren't we?
Last week, Pam said, why don't we talk about how and why we wrote a book?
Well, and the whole process probably. What it's like from, this birth of an idea to actually becoming a published author.
And we'd really love to be published again, but that means we actually have to
finish
write
a book.
Another book.
How do you get yourself cloned? This is if anybody knows anything about cloning, I could do with a hand there, because currently we've got about 14 full-time jobs and there's only 2 of us to do.
There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that we just can't delegate, but it's okay.
Can't delegate being us.
No.
That's the tricky thing, isn't it? Well,
I think that we recognized that we've been on the path a very long time. For me, 1989, so that's 32 years, right?
Yeah.
Good morning, Shayna. Good morning, Savannah. And we had a lot of experience and a lot of information, and we'd worked really hard to create a tradition. And we've served the community. I mean, we've been in the 180 Main Street location since 1997. And
before I came on the scene,
we were trying to figure out how many circles we had held, because there were several years where we just did full moons and Sabbats, which is 20 a year.
Right.
So even if you said 20 a year for the past however 20 some odd years, that's still a pretty good number. And then there have been many years where we've had circle. Hi, Anita. Where we've had circle every single Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, there's other things that go on.
Yes, we have our private commitments.
Part of the community. And we realized that we had a lot of knowledge that might be useful. We see people waking up all over and asking questions that we could answer.
Well, we get a lot of questions, that's for sure. But I think sometimes our answers are quite frustrating, because it usually comes up, well, what do you think?
And it's usually not, here's a badge just for showing up. It's usually, well, this is quite a commitment. And, first decide if you're Wiccan or not. And then decide what kind of craft you want to follow.
It's, it is true. I mean, gosh, I guess, Lisa's been teaching Reiki for a very, very long time.
Since 97.
And I think she's gleaned a bit of a reputation, of putting it bluntly, as a Reiki snob.
Yeah. Because it's a 16-week course. It's not one day for Reiki. There
correct. I mean, we there are people, just put your head near the computer, well, a junior kind of thing. There's things, I can do Reiki online, I can do this, I can do that, I can, we can have an intensive course, and over the course of like one day we'll take you right up to masters. You can't do that. It takes a while for people to assimilate the life changes, and it is life changing. And to actually, do the work. There's an internship.
Okay, how can
necessary.
you master at something you've never practiced? Just like, how can you be a high priestess if you have no idea what a first degree ordeal is?
Well, this is exactly where I'm going with this. So people would come in and they'd go, well, I already have, level 2. I just want to get my master's. And Lisa's answer to them is always, you're going to start again. Unless you're in our tradition, you'd be starting again.
Our lineage.
A lineage tradition. I'm melding the two here. You're going to start.
They're similar, but it's not the same.
So because you don't know what somebody's learned, and you know, we've met people who honestly, and they're lovely people. This is in no way meant to be derogatory towards them. I mean, you only know what you've been taught, you know, and they come, you know, ostensibly having second degree, level 2 Reiki. What am I talking about?
Why don't you figure out what you're talking about?
There's a parallel here, and we'll get into it. So, and not knowing what the chakra system is, for example, and that's for real. So,
what does chakras have to do with Reiki?
Well, exactly. What do chakras have to do with Reiki? Quite a lot, apparently, because it's all movement. It's movement of energy, and
through the chakras,
kind of necessary. So, yeah, I've met people who are second degree witches in other traditions, well established traditions,
or claim to be leading a coven,
who have no knowledge of astrology, no knowledge.
Well, that's not a requirement in some traditions.
That is true, but it is in ours. Okay, because
it's a lot easier to do magic if you know what energy you're working with.
Exactly, understanding of energies. There's a lot of work here involved. So our Craft of the Wise course that we teach goes through that, and it's only a primer, but it'll take you a year and a day to do that course. So why did we write a book? Well, there was this feeling, as we've seen with the pop-up of the we'll call it the Instagram generation, for want of a better word, you know, and this instant gratification, pop culture. I can find the answer online. That's not research. That's not study. You know, watching a video is not study. Yes, it's a great way to find something out really quickly, especially if it's a practical skill. I mean, I've learned things when I needed to repair something. I had no knowledge about it. I found a stripped down video on YouTube. It's great, really helpful. So everything in its place. I'm not decrying it, but it is not the way you can learn the craft. You can't do it that way. And yet there's so many people like stood up and said, oh, no, you can't tell me. This is evolution. This is the way it is. It's evolution if you started in the same place. If you have no concept of the background, if you have no concept of, you know, what happened before, and you've just cherry-picked what you think is good, you're missing the point completely. And there's been this...
What do you mean? I can't put Kuan Yin and Thor on my altar together?
Do you think that would work?
Oh, that works.
Why do you think that would work? Why do you think that would work? What are you trying to accomplish here? Tell me your story. What are you thinking? What is your reasoning here? That's what we throw at people. What is your idea? What are you trying to accomplish? What is your reasoning? What do you think? We make people think. We try to make them think. You can give somebody information, but you can't make them think. That's true. But we try to get people to think. And...
So our first book is just a basic layout.
Our first book's a rant.
That kind of parallels, but doesn't give all the information.
Oh God, no, it's a primer.
That we would have in Craft of the Wise, which is an introductory course to the craft.
Exactly. But it's although it's called simply Wicca, a beginner's Craft of the Wise, it is not really a book for beginners. It's suitable for a beginner, absolutely, but it's also perfectly suitable for somebody who is raising witches and is looking
right.
for
If you're a high
something...
priestess and you want a course outline,
yep,
using our book, it is probably a good idea.
So
beneficial.
So that was the motivator, really, to put pen to paper there, to try and redress some of the horrendous dilution of stuff that's going around, and just to try and get people to think, because it does bang on a little bit about ethics. It does bang on a little bit about personal responsibility. It does bang on about building the relationship with deity, and it's not all one-sided. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Who should I pray for prosperity? Who should I invoke or do a spell to for health and healing? You know, if it's all about what can I get with nothing in return, that ain't what the craft's about. It really isn't. It's a journey into self, and it's becoming a better person, becoming the best that you can be. You know, do the best you can until you know better, then do better. That's what we're trying to bring about with the book. So yeah, there was that principle. We like to rammer on a bit. you can probably tell, and both of us have the ability to string a sentence together, which I think is kind of necessary if you're setting out to write a book. Some command of the language in which you intend to write it in is a useful thing. Yeah.
I tend to write in Aquarian and then Anton fixes it.
Oh, she has the most amazing ideas, but it's like
tangential.
Yeah, no, her tangents have tangents.
Well, anybody who's taken any of my classes know that.
Her tangents
we have to go round and round and round and round and then get back to what we were talking about in the first place.
So long as you get back there.
We do.
Long as you get back
there. And I'll always
pick
out a Virgo or something in the class and say, please remind me, I have to come back to this.
Oh, that's what we so love about having, our third degrees on mentoring on with our course when we do that, the likes of Carol, who is a Virgo and was her birthday yesterday. So many happy returns to you if you're watching, Carol. I hope you had a wonderful day. But they're so good to like provide that sounding board for us and stop us wandering off completely
come back to a topic,
into the bloody ether somewhere. Like, what were we talking about again?
So basically what we did to write the first book is to look at the craft of the WISE class that we're teaching and figured out what were really important highlights from each of those modules that we wanted to talk about to help people understand the process of getting on the path and moving forward on the path. And now we're going to have a second book someday
when we get around
with a little more meat on the bone for each of those kind of subjects. Like maybe many of the chapters in the first book could become a book themselves, really.
There's many bodies of work in there, but it's work to do it.
And we have some crazy projects going
As I said, 14 full-time jobs and only 2 of us to do them, so it's 7 each. We can manage that. Just assign one day of a week, we got it.
Yep.
It's time slice multitasking. Today we're going to do this. Might be a good idea. We've never tried that a whole day, have we? We might have to. Anyway, moving on. So how do you go from just having, I've got this idea, Our book is not a work of fiction. There was a tremendous amount of research necessary and personal knowledge necessary that has to come out. It has to be, formatted into easy to digest pieces. And we thought, well, we start out, the introduction, why did we write the bloody book in the first place? Then start out with saying, well, this is a book about Wicca. So what actually is Wicca, And so we go into the history of the craft and the movers and the shakers and all that sort of stuff, which is, totally over the head for an awful lot of people who claim to be.
Many people claim to be a Wiccan high priestess, and they don't know who Doreen Valiente is.
Correct.
Yet they speak her words all the time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, it was kind of like a setting that we wanted to set. Here, dial it to here, and then move your way forward.
Exactly. Unless you've got your baseline, unless what about you, child of promise? Where do you come from? That is one of the things, and you understand, we talk about this with magical contagion. It's like the energy of everything that has gone before you. Your ancestors, your magical ancestors, if you will, have brought this energy to this phalanx, and you're stood right there in it, and it's available to you if you'll choose to actually look at it and not be all headstrong. I remember when I was 19 years of age, I knew bloody everything. But at 21, I realised I knew nothing at 19.
Yeah, and on it goes.
Until
you're 60 and you still know nothing.
And I still look back at myself and go, you pilchard. Yes. So we continue to learn.
And I think that writing a book really is about making a commitment.
It is a commitment.
And sticking with it.
It's hard work.
You can find time to watch television or play video games or binge watch a series. You can find time to write a book.
You can, but you've actually got to do it. Yeah. So I will pull as reference here the 3 of Pentacles, which is, if it is a higher purpose, if it is your vision to create a work, if that is your destiny and you wish to create this work that will live on long after you've shuffled off the idea. You've got the idea. Now you need a plan, okay? The architect, you need a plan. And then you have to execute that plan, the mason to build the building. So idea, plan, execution. Idea, plan, execution. You need all 3 parts of that. Lots lots of us a wish or a desire, you know. An idea without a plan is just a wish. Oh, I wish I could write a book. You can if you make a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plan to write this book. I'm going to plan the book out. This is what it's going to look like. This is the chapters. This is if it's a work of fiction, what's your plot summary? You know,
yeah.
What's your story? And get it down into an elevator pitch. If you've got like 10 seconds with a publisher in an elevator, be able to pitch your book in 10 seconds to them. You know, what it's about, you know, why it's important. And, you know, they'll be able to do. Because you're going to need to pitch your book to a lot of people. You know, you were highly unlikely the first person you pitch it to is going to say, hey, yeah, what a great idea. Let's publish that book. You know, so expect to be said, you know, to receive rejection, you know. Hey, the Beatles were turned down.
Right.
So just because it's brilliant doesn't mean it's brilliant in your mind. You've got to convince other people of the brilliance of your work. So you've got to you know, put some time into learning to write well. Accept criticism from your editor, or even before that, somebody you respect in a literary way, to say, yeah, you know, you could rephrase this a little better here. You don't want to take your soul out of the book, all right? And a good editor won't do that. They will allow your you know, which one of us, if you know as well.
Well, it's written as if we were speaking, really.
Yeah, kind of. And you can see, you know, that coming together. It's, you know, it's too complex to have come from one mind.
Dear, we're frozen.
Did we? No,
Oh,
I think
we're
going. We're going. I think it's just a little blip. Just a blip. No problem.
All right.
But yeah, so yeah, you've actually got to make it happen. Write that book, and if you've got that idea, I think it was Pamela asked this. If you're working towards that, work towards it. Get your thing. You know, at least the very first thing you're going to have to do a pitch to somebody is have what is your book about? What are the competitors to it? Where's it? You know, influences competitors. Where is it in the marketplace? That will help a publisher to say, oh yeah, I know that marketplace. This is something that will go towards those particular group of people.
And you have to have a couple of chapters ready.
A couple of chapters, definitely. And definitely, like, you know, the table of contents or the outline or a summary of each chapter, very, very brief, you know.
Melanie's saying it's easier to pitch nonfiction from an outline. Novels have to be finished in order to persuade.
To a point. Certainly, probably your first novel, very probably.
Yes.
Yeah, you know. But again, you know, is like a great work ever finished? Maybe you want to go back and tweak it and polish it a little bit.
The epic second version.
Oh, yes, the new improved version.
All right.
Right, well, hopefully that's some help.
Card of the day.
Says us, preaching to the choir.
And card of the day is really like card of the weekend, isn't it?
Oh, F me.
Oh, you're kidding! You kind of knew that was going to happen. So remember he was talking about the Three of Pentacles. But that's the card he's pulled.
Seriously. Honestly, not. It's not a stunt. I absolutely just reached in and pulled that card out. And when I saw the top of it, oh, you're kidding.
All right. So let's say that I'm going to read this card because it's the 3 as the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
The weekend.
So this weekend, a lot of things are going on, and you might really need to be still a little bit, make a list, make a plan, and figure out how you're going to execute it, right? So I'm going to say this weekend is all about organizing and planning. You set your foundation, the better what you build will be. That's my reading for you guys.
I'm actually going to go on to the trivial meaning of this card and say this weekend, because it's a 3, great time for home improvements, without doubt. You know, make sure it's tasteful, make sure you're executing it well, you know, but it's a great time for that. And it's something that I think will bring you a great deal of pleasure. But understand the magnificent power of 3 here. You know, idea, plan, action. You know, got to get that going. So I can't believe we just pulled that card.
That's really
just
funny.
that's
I kind of knew you were going to. It's just the way of the world. It's
the
way of our world. This is our life.
Freya Brenhanda, is that how you say it? Brahanda. I'm sorry because That's like Norwegian. I don't do Norwegian. Maybe you are Norwegian. That's wonderful. That gave me the feels. Well, outstanding. I love it. So, well,
shovel it back in there.
I'll shovel it back in somewhere. There we go.
Too funny.
All right. So, yeah, that's for today. Fantastic Friday. Didn't really talk much about us this time.
We talked about our book and
other than we yeah. Oh, it's Brenda. Hello, Brenda. Well, hello. It's Brenda, me. Well, thank you for joining us, Brenda. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. Yes, we love the people on YouTube.
Yes, we would love to grow a much bigger audience on YouTube.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're watching on the Book of Face, we'd love you to watch on the Tube of You. It costs you nothing. All right. So thank you very much for watching.
Peace,
love,
have a wonderful weekend. See you on Monday. Yes. Oh, and don't forget, tomorrow's the Psychic Fair.
Oh gosh, it is.
Psychic Fair from the end of the month again. Last Saturday of the month, 12 to 5. Psychic Fair readings are $10 for 10 minutes. I almost forgot to say because it's already the end of the month.
Gone already. Would you believe it? Thank you.
All right.
So, well, thank you for joining us, Brenda. Thank you. Appreciate it greatly. So, have yourself an amazing day. Be blessed, be well, be wonderful, be epic. And I guess, I've got to do something. Talk for a second. I keep forgetting to do this.
I know. He's got to fix
this.
If
I don't do this, it doesn't save it.
Yep. Have a great weekend. Hi, Nicole. Oh, see you tomorrow. Cool. We've got all kinds of stuff in and a lot of new books. We got... Jenna Tellendrew's new Ladyweth book yesterday. Very exciting. A lot of new books from Pagan Portals and new publishers that we haven't carried before because we want to expand. Believe it or not, we want to expand our book section.
We already have over 1,500 titles, I would say, don't we? Yep. So you know, you can go to Barnes and Noble. And look
where
at
they put one of our books on the shelf next to the Necronomicon.
I don't know.
A friend took a picture and said, "This is where you've been put. I've changed you. I put you up a few shelves.
Well, thank you.
Took you away from the Satanic Bible."
We're not. Do they not understand? Some people. That's what it is. Some people see a pentagram and think, "Oh, Satan." Oh, come on. It's the seal of Solomon. You guys need to go about that. All right. Thank you so much for watching us.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, and be blessed, be well, be epic, and like.